Alright guys, welcome back to another trade plan. Today is the 9th of November. This will be the trade plan for the 10th. Now today we had quite a big not really a sell-off, but mostly liquidation from overnight trading, right? So from the overnight sessions we had some liquidation, meaning all the guys that got long overnight, they were holding weak positions. All those guys were forced to pretty much liquidate as we had no interest to the upside, right? So obviously, if you're in a position, let's say up here, right, and the market is really not really is like not really giving you anything, right? You're just kind of sitting there losing, slowly bleeding away. Right? You're gonna start to see all these people start dropping off. And to obviously get out of a buy position, right of a long, you need to sell, right? And when you sell, you add to the selling pressure of the market, obviously pushing prices lower. So you get kind of like this slow grind. Usually it's a little more aggressive, but obviously there weren't really that aggressive sellers in the market for most part until maybe later in the day. Right, for most of the day there was really no aggressive sellers. That's why the market just kind of grinded lower, right? As the buyers or as some buyers actually were just trying to pick up this little dip in their heads. They thought it was a good idea, and so that was kind of propping up the market. But then at the end of the day, around 3 o'clock, even those guys had to liquidate, and so you kind of have a liquidation break from pretty much everybody combined. So you have people from today, people from overnight, and then those guys sell off their positions. They don't want to hold on to the risk anymore, and so they sell off. Right, and the next stop for the market after a liquidation event is usually the area where value was previously established at, which is going to be around here, 3502. And so if we look, the market is kind of headed towards our 3502 area. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact, but that's where you have to imagine the market going, right? Because again, this is where value was established before we have this extension move all the way up here, right? Obviously, it was unsustainable, and so the market is kind of free falling now back to where it belongs. Where does it belong? Right here at value 3503, 3504, 3502. Okay. So it's just a quick little analysis. Nothing too in depth or anything. But anyways, let's jump into the analysis of the profile. All right. Let's start off with the ES. We cleaned up the imbalance we had established here from the 3rd of October or September actually. Okay, we cleaned that up. Okay, as expected, we took out this high right here. Okay, we left the nice imbalance right here to the downside, right? This is obviously the liquidation break. Liquidation is not good support or structure, and so when you see an imbalance like this, you expect it to fill in if prices come back inside it. You expect rotation inside this, right? The market hates leaving behind imbalances of any kind, actually. All right, so we have those imbalances there. We have a low, and obviously we have a gap fill, gap, and gap. All right, we no longer need these, no longer need these, and no longer need these. We do want to mark out the point of control. That's always a reference level. Point of control, it's like a magnet for price. Okay, below this, there's really nothing apart from maybe this low of day here. Then it's another point of control, and then another excess and a little gap. And then obviously that's where we came from after the election rally. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the ES. So if you want to go ahead and take a screenshot or take a picture. Oh, actually, last level, our line in the sand. point of control. Below this we are bearish. Above it we're bullish, obviously. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And then obviously the high of day. Let me not forget the high of day. Alright, perfect. That's pretty much it for the levels on the ES. Again, imbalance here. We have a gap that we need to fill, and then we have some points of control down here, and then excess, gaps, etc. Again, screenshot, take these levels down however you need. And yeah, let's move on to the NQ. Okay, the NQ is a little bit more aggressive to the downside. Obviously, as we can see here, it's already cleaned up the gap from a couple days ago. Okay, we no longer need this poor high. We no longer need value. We're going to mark out the point of control. Point of control below bearish. As long as we're below this point of control, we're going to be looking for bearish continuation, bearish control. Okay, so keep it in mind. Okay, also keep in mind the imbalance here. So if you see prices start trading inside here, just remember that you should expect rotation. Or a play that I like to do often also is if I see prices, let's say, breaking up with good volume, they start breaking up above this imbalance, and I see good volume, I just take a long here at the bottom of the imbalance and I ride it all the way to the top of the imbalance. Okay, that's a trade I often take. So if you want to take a look at that, but that's pretty much it for the NQ. This is all we need for tomorrow. We have a poor high. Let me not forget this too. We have a poor high, and that's pretty much it. All right, now let's take a look at the YM, last but not least. All right, the YM had the highest or the most extended move up. So we're gonna clean up all of these levels. Okay, we have a big gap on the YM. Gap. Alright, we have a gap here that we need to fill, obviously. Then obviously our point of control. Below it we are bearish. Okay, we have really good excess, a little bit too aggressive, as you can see, kind of just goes from single print. Let me zoom in for you guys. It goes single print, and then it goes four wide. Right, usually you want to see a little taper. Okay, this is not that good. Okay, just telling us that these guys are very aggressive, very emotional. Okay, so just keep that in mind here. We have an excess if we do end up getting back up. I doubt it, but you know, if we do, you guys can use that to make some good decisions. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let me clean up these old levels. Point of control. Again, points of control act like magnets for price once they do trade, and they generally like to test old points of control before continuing in their auctions. But anyways, that's gonna be pretty much it. That's gonna wrap it up for today's trade plan. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below or reach out to me on the Discord. There's a link in the description if you haven't already joined the Discord. And yeah, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And thanks for watching, guys.